This season has literally just ended. The scent of big Ange Postecoglou's greasy hands can still be smelt on the Scottish Premiership trophy, yet we're already moving in to 23-24. Welcome back, guys, to Summer Scotland TV, and we are here to look at the predictions for the upcoming season according to the bookmakers. So, Edinburgh News obviously posted this, and they've ranked the 12 Premiership teams that are most likely to win the title in order from least likely to most likely. So whoever's got the least amount of chance has been ranked number 1, and then whoever's got the most chance has been ranked number 12. So we're going to go through this list. We're going to look at it. Now, this is in terms of winning the title. So just because a team might have the least chance of winning the title, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're being predicted to finish last, you know? So, like, maybe a team can have, like, the 7th best chance of winning the title, but they're actually maybe, like, the 5th best team. So it is kind of weird, and this doesn't necessarily mean that this is a prediction or this is what the Edinburgh News website believes the final table will be. This is just them compiling odds from either several bookmakers or just the one bookmaker in order to try and let's shape what this upcoming season is going to be. So we're going to have a look here. We're going to go through it, and I will give my opinion on what I believe. But before we continue this vid, I've got nothing against Ange Postecoglou. In fact, I actually kind of like the guy. I was just sick of him winning trophies for Celtic. I didn't want to see it anymore, so I am kind of glad that he is gone. And I've got nothing against him liking Big Macs either, because Big Macs are fucking fantastic, and I love them too. But who will be the Big Mac in this video? Who will be the big dog that is favourites to win the championship? Let's have a look. So moving in to last place, or in this weird ranking system, first place, we have Dundee at 1,500 to 1. Look, we all know Dundee ain't going to win the league. Look, we all know that only 2 teams can win the league, really, but Dundee is not going to be one of them. I think Dundee will be in a relegation battle. If they survive, that would be a good season for them. I think even if Dundee could finish 11th and force a playoff relegation spot, I think that would be a good position for Dundee. I genuinely believe that, because coming up, I'm not that keen on this Dundee side. I don't rate them, and to be fair, I do think there's a bit of a gulf. I think that the Premier League sides in general are just better than the Championship sides. So I think if Dundee could guarantee themselves a playoff against a Championship side, I think they would be happy with that come the end of the season. So yeah, my opinion. Coming in at number 2, we have Ross County. Same odds as Dundee. Obviously, they survived. Who's this? Former breaking news Italian Prime Minister Silvio COVID. Anyway, probably not. Probably just old age, to be honest. The guy's 86. But yeah, will Ross County stay up? But I'm going to say no. I mean, will they stay up? I'm going to say yes. But will they win the league? I'm going to say definitely not. 1,500 to 1 odds. I mean, we've seen that they struggled. I don't even know if they'll have Malky Mackay. And to be honest, it looks like he's put a lot of fucking weight on in that picture. But I don't think Malky Mackay will be there next season. I've got a funny feeling they will get rid. St Johnstone next up, they're 1,000 to 1, so they are deemed to have a better chance than both County and Dundee, which I would probably agree with. But let's be honest, the chance that St Johnstone have is the same chance that most teams in the league have. No chance. Then we move on to Kilmarnock, 1,000 to 1, same odds as St Johnstone. I think Kilmarnock will improve on their result this season. I think Kilmarnock will probably push. I don't want to claim they're going to make top 6. It's too early for me to say that just now. I'm going to wait and see what happens in the transfer window. But I think Kilmarnock will be closer to the top 6 than they will be a relegation battle. I will commit to saying that. Let's move on then to the next round, the next page here. So we have up next Martindale's Livy, 750 to 1. Can Livy win the league? No. I'm going to say no. Up next, we have St Mirren, 500 to 1. I mean, at times this season, they look like the only team that could cause Celtic problems, but I don't expect them to be as good as they were this season. I don't think they'll deliver that again next year, and I do think we'll maybe see a decline from St Mirren. Motherwell are 500 to 1. I mean, if they keep Fanfield, then who knows, but I don't think they're going to. And you can see their 2 stands, the Phil O'Donnell stand and the Davy Cooper stand. 2 good players, by the way. Rest in peace, Phil O'Donnell. Moving on to Hibs, 200 to 1. I would say if anyone is going to win the league outside the Old Firm, it would have to be an Edinburgh club or Aberdeen. That is the only three teams I think that could win the league outside the Old Firm. And when you look at this, Hibs 200 to 1. I remember back in the day when I was growing up, you would not get Hibs 200 to 1. They probably would have been around 50 to 1, 33 to 1, 66 to 1, something around those figures. And it just goes to show you like how far Celtic and Rangers are ahead now of the other teams, that they're literally telling you, look, Hibs have no chance. Hibs are 200 to 1. Stick as much money on them as you want. It's not going to matter. That's basically what they're saying here. Moving on to the last page then. Obviously the top four we know is Aberdeen, Hibs, I'm assuming Rangers, Celtic. So Aberdeen are 200 to 1 to win the title. So the bookmakers think that Hearts have got a better chance of winning the league than Aberdeen. And you know what? I would actually agree with that. I think Hearts will finish above Aberdeen this season. I think Aberdeen have made a bit of a mistake appointing Barry Robson. I'm under no illusion that he done fantastic, but I think it was a lazy signing. I think they've just appointed him as a cheap option. And like I said, he done great, but for me, a caretaker manager isn't always the answer. Look, we've seen people being given jobs when they were the caretaker manager, and you just knew they were not. I think the big example, the biggest example would probably be Solskjaer at United. He came in as caretaker manager, he done really well, and he got the chance, but you just knew. You knew Solskjaer was not the right man to lead Man United forward, and that's how I feel about Barry Robson. I don't think he's the right man. Yeah, he done a job last season, he helped them get third place, I'm not going to deny that, but I don't think he's going to improve on this. I think he'll actually do worse this season, and I actually believe that I wouldn't be surprised if Aberdeen finish outside the top six. That's my opinion. Obviously, I will wait to see what happens in the transfer window, but right now, I think that Aberdeen could finish as low as like 7th. I genuinely believe that. Moving into Hearts, we are 150 to 1, so we are deemed as the biggest threat, really, outside of Glasgow. We are the most likely team to win it. So, again, 150 to 1. How much money would I put on that? Absolutely nothing, because I don't believe we will win. I don't believe we'll have a chance. I think a good season for Hearts would be finish within 20 points of the champions. That's what I would like to see. Obviously, that would be like cutting this year's deficit in half. It's going to be a big, big ask, but, we need to start somewhere. So that's kind of what I would like as a goal, but we'll see if that happens or not. Todd Cantwell and Rangers are 11 to 10. So Rangers just the slight underdogs in terms of the two teams from Glasgow. Rangers coming in 11th place. Yeah, £10 on wins you 11, so if you want to stick £1,000 on Rangers, you will get 2,100 back. Not bad, to be honest, and I actually, the longer Michael Beale's at Rangers, the more that happens, the more I think Rangers have got a legit chance of this upcoming title. I think the longer Beale's been at Rangers have got better, and then I felt like, obviously Celtic had a poor end to the season. Now Ange is gone, and we don't know who Celtic's going to bring in. We don't know what other players could follow Ange at the door. I'm not right now, I'm still favouring Celtic to win the title, but I don't know. I mean, come the start of the season, I might actually predict Rangers. It all depends on what happens over the next 2 months. And the favourites at 4 to 6 to win the title, it is Celtic. They have to be favourites. Look, they've got the best team. No one can deny that. They have the best players, best team, best squad, whatever. They are the champions, They have won 5 trophies out of 6. Like, they're the form team, they're the best team in Scotland, and no one can, well, maybe not the form team, but they're the best team in Scotland. No one can deny that overall, but that doesn't mean they're going to finish next season the best team, because a manager coming in, a new manager can quickly change things. Some key players leaving the club can quickly change things. So, yeah, honestly, if Ange Postecoglou was still at Celtic, I would probably be sticking big money on that. I would probably stick £600 on Celtic to win the title this year, but I'm not convinced. Even if Brendan Rodgers comes in, I'm just not convinced. I think Michael Beale's Rangers have improved a lot, and I think this title fight could be very, very close. So that is the bookmakers' predictions in terms of who is going to win the league and what odds each team is of winning the title. Look, it doesn't really matter what odds they are. We all know it's a 2-horse race, right? It's Celtic versus Rangers. In my opinion, Celtic are slight favourites, but I might change my mind come the start of the season. I think the big factor will be, I'm not really worried about who Rangers sign or anything like that. What changes it for me is, what players actually leave Celtic and who they bring in as manager. I think Celtic don't necessarily need to improve the squad in order to win the title. I think Celtic could not bring in anybody, and as long as they don't lose players, they'll still have a better team than Rangers. But if they lose a couple of players and they get a manager in that I don't really rate, then I might just change my opinion, guys. I might be picking Rangers. Anyway, let me know who you're picking. Let me know if you agree with these title odds. I'll catch you in the next one. Been Scotland TV, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace out.